Geometry Dash is one of the most popular games amongst phones and computers alike, and there's a good reason for that. The game has so much to offer. You can become a top creator and rack up lots of creator points, become a top player and slay the hardest levels, buy items from the black market from a mysterious shopkeeper or let a demon out the basement, and you can even mod the game. Wait, what was that about letting a demon out of a base? So for some reason in this game about squares and blocks, there's lore, and it's sadly incomplete at that. Most people have tried to analyse the lore, but I think they've all missed out on a lot of details, no offense Omar. So I've analysed every aspect of the Geometry Dash lore and created a comprehensive full timeline, and with the help of my friends voicing the characters, here's basically the history of the Geometry Dash lore, I guess.
I am a robot. I am a robot.
So the first instance of Geometry Dash lore was right after Update 2.0 dropped. In this update, objects could now move, there was a new game mode, and there were these little coins that you can add in your levels. Before this update, people would just add these little funny star icons in their levels and you couldn't keep track of them, but now you can collect them, just like stars. And they even appear in your profile. People also noticed for some reason in the settings of the game, there was this mysterious lock that required you to get 10 user coins to unlock. Clicking on it without the amount of coins you needed would give you this randomized dialogue from someone named the Guard, basically telling you to back off. Opening it reveals the vault, which is an area with the Guard in it. When clicking on him, he gives dialogue, but some are more important than others. White text is just random dialogue, but blue text hints to secret codes. Solving these secret codes can give you items, such as trails, icons, and even a secret coin when typing in the word Sparky. One of the only things to note here is that his canonical name is actually Spooky. You can find this out when booting up the game. There's a small chance while loading it will say, Spooky doesn't get out often. Typing in Spooky makes him confirm this.
What? How'd you know my name?
So this is how the lore tree looks, nothing too insane, and we can't even get a grasp on how to make lore out of this, because we don't even know who this guy is or what his motives are.
Whoa, a new biome?
The real first strands of GD lore came out on December 21st, 2016, when GD World was first announced. First off, when talking to the Guard, we can see his dialogue got a little remaster, now showing this little new dialogue box. And another interesting thing is that the editor tab looks so much better compared to the normal Geometry Dash. I mean, look at all these buttons. Like, what is featured? Oh. Who is this? This is the Keymaster, a new centerpiece in the GD lore. You see, in this revamp of the GD Online tab, there were two new weird additions on the far right side of the screen, a door and a lock. And from the previous update, we know that when there's a lock, that means there's a vault. This vault is about the same difficulty as the previous one, requiring 50 diamonds. As long as you can open your daily chests, claim your quests, and maybe play a list or two, you can go in pretty easily. That rhymed, that was great. Opening it, we get another vault. This vault is the same just as the previous vault. Heck, it's so the same it shares the dialogue. I'm not gonna branch this into some stupid mind telepathy theory, it's clearly just Rob being lazy. While I'm here, I also want to mention that Robtop's canonical to the lore, because in the two vaults they talk about him like he's some sort of person with the highest power, or a god of some sorts. I don't want to really go all meta for the whole video, so I'm going to avoid bringing that into my theories until it actually pops up. Anyways, you can enter some codes as normal, but you might notice a door on the bottom. How do you unlock that? Well, sometimes he says this.
Wanna hear a secret? I am building my own level. I call it the challenge. Hope it gets featured. Probably not.
Type in the challenge and you get his level. This level is actually pretty fun. It's reminiscent of Frontlines and the Dashlands, and it's got a ton of little quirks to let you get half level. Am I mad about this? Not really. I actually think the addition of little skips in this level kind of shows that he's clearly not a good creator and is just starting out. If anything, it's kind of wholesome. Anyways, after you beat it, you get 4 stars and some random dialogue. He wants you to go down to the basement to get your reward for beating it, but dun dun dun, there's a monster in there.
Well, what do we have here? You look like someone who is interested in a deal. Help me get out of here and I'll make it worth your while. See those locks over there? You need to unlock them.
He asked you if you're interested in a deal, and you accept. Then he says this line.
Rub locks me in here for no reason. He said there would be a chicken. There was no chicken.
If you didn't know, chicken is a bit of an in-joke with Robtop, and it reoccurs all across the GD lore. In a live stream, someone asked Robtop when 2.1 was coming out, and he said that the chicken was in the oven. The chicken in this case being a metaphor for 2.1. When 2.1 came out, it was almost a full year since the chicken got put in the oven, and Robtop's kind of saying that the chicken was left in the oven to burn. Anyways, back to the basement. After he says this, 3 locks appear. The first one is unlocked by getting 50 chests in the treasure room, where you get a
green key.
And the next one is oh, apparently it's not available yet. Anyways, that's the end of that path, so now let's go into the basement. The first thing we'll notice is a bunch of chests, which aren't that important, but at the end there's a sketchy looking rope. When you click on it, you'll see some dialogue from a mysterious person named Scratch. When you interact with him, he expresses that he just wants you to go away, as apparently he's a glitch in the code, and you're going to attract Robtop's attention.
If Rob sees this, I am in big trouble. God, I hate that guy.
I'll After 500 diamonds, he'll let you into his secret shop, and that's really the end of the lore we get from here as well. So that's the end of GD World. If you weren't aware, GD World is basically a big teaser for the new update 2.1, so that means we'll basically get to see more of the lore in the new update. One thing I'd like to theorize about is the origin of the monster. We can't really see much of him, but the main thing we can see is that he's very green. And another very green place in GD World is the sewers, and they are toxic, so I'm going to place my bets that this is his origin. Anyways, that's just my thoughts. We can't really get much until we talk about 2.1. Hey, liking the video so far? If you are, I think it'd be really cool if you hit the subscribe button. We're quickly approaching 20k subscribers, and I think it'd be really cool to hit that. Also, make sure to subscribe to my friends who are voicing the characters, Anglified, Galaxy Dash, Angel Effect, Brian, and Smango24. If you don't want to subscribe, you can just keep watching the video, because that helps as well. Anyways, back to 2.1.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions...
2.1 is the golden age of lore in this game, having the most dialogue, characters, and secrets. And finally, some questions to ask. The first thing we can do is look around. By going into the new Gauntlets tab, we can see new sets of levels, but clicking on the Demon Gauntlet has a pop-up from the Keymaster.
It's no use. That gauntlet is locked. The Demon Guardian was the only one who could open it. Not sure what happened to him. He was always a little bit crazy.
This is actually a great piece of dialogue. Not only do we get more insight in the role of the guy in the basement before he got caught, but we also finally get his name, the Demon Guardian. Let's get back to freeing that guy as well. Do you remember the locks that we couldn't unlock from earlier? Well, now we can get them. To get the blue one, you have to go back into the gauntlets, not for the Demon Gauntlet this time, but instead for the Chaos Gauntlet. After this conversation, it magically appears in the Gauntlets tab, and after beating all 5 levels in it, you get the key. Last one is where it gets interesting. He says it's guarded by...
The Gatekeeper, Rub-Rub's trusted pet. Touch the ground beneath the promise, and the door will be revealed.
This probably confused you at first, but after a while you can break it down and it's pretty simple. What's one of the biggest promises in this game that RobTop broke? Anyways, touching the ground here opens the door, and if you click on it, a mysterious character appears.
Rub, is that you? I cannot see in this light. Show me the Master Emblem and I will let you pass.
As soon as this dialogue appears, suddenly Scratch stocks a new item. After you buy this item from him, which is called the Master Emblem, he says this.
Ah, the shiny thing. Excellent choice. I found it some time ago. Yeah, found is a good word. Not sure what it does. If anyone asks, you didn't buy it here. I mean, buy it where?
After buying this, you can actually click on the door and it'll let you in. This is just another vault, purely just for more icons. One of the interesting things here is that the character speaks in riddles, but that's about it. Anyways, in the bottom right corner there's a chest, and wouldn't you know it, it contains the last key. So we've got all 3 keys, one from the Chaos Gauntlet, one from the chest, and one from this room. Let's see what happens when we try to unlock him now.
I am free. So many years lost, locked away in that filthy cage. Now that I have my freedom, I must continue where I left off. Now that you have freed me, I can continue my master plan. Destroy the world of Geometry Dash, and I couldn't have done it without you, Truffalo. But I almost forgot. I left you a small gift as a token of my appreciation. You will need it.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have trusted him. Luckily the gatekeeper didn't see. Oh, fuck.
Hey, I heard some Wait, it's the gate? You opened the gate? You opened the gate! Ah, this is bad! Bad!
So I congratulate you with the best voice acting in my video award. How do you feel?
Oh my fucking god, thank you!
So really, that's the big setup for the whole lore in the game. Guy comes out the basement and ruins Geometry Dash. There are still some questions I kinda want to get answered though. One of the most important ones is, what is the role of the vaults? They seem to be scattered across the game in very sporadic areas with no real rhyme or reason to it. So I had to start thinking, and the conclusion that I came to is that these guys were kind of like the ancient leaders of the game. Let's look at what they say. The first thing I noticed is that all of the vaults seem to be scared of RobTop, saying RobTop would get mad if they saw that you were in there. Another thing that's kind of weird is the fact that they're locked up. Even the guy in the Chamber of Time says this is his first conversation in 1,000 years. So there must have been some ancient force in Geometry Dash, really. Exiled out of the community and also a close person to RobTop? This reminds me of something. I can't really put my finger on it though. Anyways, before I want to move on to 2.2, I want to mention some of the miscellaneous things I still find interesting. I've covered this in my previous videos, but Geometry Dash Lite went through a couple of updates before 2.2, adding some miscellaneous features. If you somehow hacked into the main levels of this version of World, you could actually see explorers, which is cool, but clicking on it says,
The Demon Guardian is the only one that can unlock this level. Maybe he has a special key?
which I find really weird. And in later builds, for some reason, it was changed to the dialogue when opening the mini door on the Coming Soon page.
You don't want to see my dark side. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Just before 2.2 released, around 2022, Geometry Dash World 2.2 1.3 came out, which added a couple miscellaneous things like paths, and even a new version of the treasure room with things like tiered chests. People thought it was a cool update, but something people figured out is that for some reason you can click on the shopkeeper in this version and he'd make a weird noise. And it didn't take long for people to find out the secrets associated with this. Here, I'll just play the clip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah.
What do you want?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Can you stop?
yeah.
Stop with the poking.
Oh,
You're getting on my nerves.
oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm warning you. Some things are better left alone. Oh no, not again. Just stop tapping and it'll be fine.
oh.
I feel strange. You dare touch a god? You will regret your actions here today. I have big things planned for you, Truffalo. Now, be gone! Hey, welcome back! Sorry, I think I fell asleep earlier, but did I miss something? Oh yeah, someone left this package here for you. Who is Zolguroth? I really need to get that thing checked.
So that happened. So what does this mean in the Geometry Dash lore exactly? Well, the first thing I noticed is at the end of the whole ideal, he spoke very familiarly. Comparing the end of his dialogue to the ending of the Demon Guardian's dialogue, we can kind of see they speak in the same tone. So does this mean the Demon Guardians kind of like corrupted the shopkeeper? Is this what he meant by destroying the world of Geometry Dash? On a timeline's sake, it makes sense too, as he got freed in 2017 and is now corrupting the people in 2022. In my lore, I said earlier that maybe the Demon Guardian came out of the sludge in the toxic sewers. This might mean that the shopkeeper was involved in the toxic sewers at some point, and it's like a hive mind type thing. Maybe he was like a worker there and the demon came out, and he maybe took like an easier job as a shopkeeper. That's really all I can think of, because otherwise it wouldn't really make sense why he's only corrupting the shopkeeper.
Hello, my name is Pizza Tower. What's yours?
The next big chunk of lore we got was in 2.2, and it was pretty strange compared to 2.1. In this update, we didn't really get any direct lore in the form of characters such as Scratch or Vaults. We kind of got a new type of lore altogether. You see, if you scroll to the end of the main levels past Dash, we see a place called the Tower. Clicking on the portal in front of us, we see our old friend Scratch, who basically says that it's abandoned and we probably shouldn't go in there. So of course we go in there. Going into the tower itself, we see 4 doors, each acting as new platformer levels, so let's start at the bottom. The first one is called the Tower. Creative, I know. Anyways, it's just usual normal platforming until this little underground area right into the end, where we kind of stand on this button and get scanned by this weird robot guy. He scans us and says,
I see you.
which, like, no crap dude, you just scanned me. Anyways, after we collect all our rewards, we drop down to the next level. After I finished this level, the first question I had was, who is this robot dude? The first thing I've noticed is he's basically got 2 emotions. Green eyes, where he's kind of like mysterious, and red eyes, where he's just straight up evil. Do you know who else is green and red? Okay, that could be a coincidence, but like, I would only believe this if like the next level was named like the sewers or something. The next level is the sewers, and aside from the level literally being based around the sewers from GD World, there's really nothing interesting here. Sure, it has like fire in the hole and it's got some weird characters, but all it really is just some tight platforming in an auto scroller, so we're gonna move on to the next level, the cellar. In the cellar, we see the robot dude again. He says some random line and we keep going.
You shouldn't be here.
Then we see this skeleton. For some reason the community calls him Rattledash, but yeah, remember this guy, he'll come important later.
Foreshadowing.
Anyways, as we keep going up, he gives this speech.
Dare defy the Lord of Darkness. How bold of you, peasant. Your power is meaningless.
Then we have a bomb and wait, So yeah, nothing really much to the rest of this level. We just go into this little cave area and then we go into the last level, the Secret Hollow. The Secret Hollow starts out as just another ordinary platformer level until we get caught trespassing, and these monsters take us to this little underground bunker area, where not only do we see another Rattledash, but we also use this device that turns us into a ball so we can go to the next room. After that, we have to collect some keys, and now we're at the final boss. The Cursed Thorn. He's a pretty fun boss. Not to go on a tangent or anything, but I'm really glad we have good platform levels for 2.2. Like, could you imagine if we didn't have a good boss fight and it just ended? Anyways, after you beat him by avoiding the red fireballs and shooting him back with the green ones, he explodes, and that's really the end of the tower. Okay, so there's a lot of info. First, I want to mention the skeletons. Looking at them, we can kind of see they fit the archetype of a human skeleton, with long legs and a rounded skull, so this kind of means they were human workers in the sewers before the Demon Guardian attacked. This comes to another question, however. Earlier I mentioned that I thought the shopkeeper used to be a worker at the tower, so this theory could only be correct if the shopkeeper was a human, and yeah, I think he is a human. He's got a mouth, the eyes, and he's also the only shopkeeper to wear clothes, so I think this cements this theory. So is that it? Is that the whole lore of Geometry Dash? Well, there's one minor update that I haven't covered.
So I'm gonna type it in. Goal, and ball.
2.207 was a pretty small and miscellaneous update from Rubtop. It added events, achievements for beating insane levels, and it even added Thick of It in its official code in the game. Oh yeah, it also added this guy. This guy's the Wraith. You can find him by clicking on his face in the bottom right corner of the tower. Clicking on him brings you to this room, and if it's the first time going here, it gives you some dialogue.
Great, just what I need. Another guardian to my prisoner. Must be my lucky day. Or yours. I don't really have days anymore. I wasn't always like this, you know? I used to be something greater. Now instead, I get to listen to you. What a treat. Go on. Or don't. Not like I can stop you.
Basically, you can put in codes like every other vault, and then you'll say a weird line like,
The undead.
and he either locks you out if it's an invalid code, or gives you a chest if you got a right code. Anyways, that's really all we have to work with, so I just want to analyze his opening monologue. Out of the 5 lines, he said none of them are really interesting except this one. He used to be something greater? What does that mean? Then I started thinking, this guy's name is literally the Wraith. Wraith means a visible ghost, spirit, or apparition of a deceased person. So this means that the Wraith was something great, then died and became stuck in this room, but he could still talk after death. Immediately, this drew some parallels to the guy I mentioned earlier, Rattledash. Basically, what I'm saying is, it seems like after you die due to being infected with the toxic virus from the sewers, you don't really die. It seems like you become, like, stuck. Rattledash is maybe one of the only people in the tower we see dead, since he's a skeleton. But do you know who else we killed? The Cursed Thorn. My guess is that after we killed the Cursed Thorn, he got sent here into this dead-like state. Okay, after all of that, I've put together the final lore of Geometry Dash, after every single update from the 1.9 to 2.207. This might not mean much right now, because it's just like a massive, like, conspiracy board, but I've put a comprehensive full timeline together so you can understand it. So, in the beginning, there was Rubtop, and he was the ruler of the Dashlands. He was kind of the king in the area, and he ran a lot of stuff. Since the population was increasing, he tried to capitalize on this by adding some shopkeepers and some people to work for him. Anyways, after that, to make some more jobs, Rubtop made a toxic factory of sorts. Naively, he thought it would bring a lot of more energy to the Dashlands and more employment. And yeah, it worked. A lot of people got employed there, which was cool. Until one day, one of the guys who was working there messed up, and the radiation leaked everywhere, releasing 2 entities, the Cursed Thorn and the Demon Guardian. They came out and wreaked terror, basically killing all of the workers that were there, except the guy who started it, who barely escaped. After he escaped the scene, he didn't want to get caught, so he just became a low-profile job as a shopkeeper. Rubtop successfully captured one of the Havoc Wreckers, the Cursed Thorn, and locked him in the quarantine unit called the Tower indefinitely. Anyways, now to deal with the second threat, Rubtop convinced the Demon Guardian that there was chicken in Keymaster's basement. The Demon Guardian fell for it and was successfully locked up. After that, all seems good. The 2 threats were neutralized. Until you came along. Yep, you freed the Demon Guardian, and even though you did finish off the Cursed Thorn and put him into a state where he's like immobile, there's still that other monster around destroying the world of Geometry Dash. So what will happen next in the lore of Geometry Dash? I think that the second floor of the tower will be unlocked by freeing the Demon Guardian, and you'll finally face him off on the floor 2 of the tower, and then who knows what can happen there. So yeah, subscribe.
Excuse me.